What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today, I don't have any guest. I'm going to be sitting here talking to you guys about my second love next to music, professional wrestling, man. And on a day like today, which I'm recording this on Sunday, so happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm going to celebrate the end of the Undertaker's career by talking about entrance theme songs that were performed by actual bands, and we're going to get into a little bit some of the history of them, how they fit to the character, and how I think they have accentuated this character's possibility, as well as, you know, just talking about professional wrestling as much as I love it. So sit back and relax, but before we get into today's podcast, listen to my boy AJ Pelletier talk about his podcast, The Roads We've Traveled. Check it out.
Hey everyone, AJ Pelletier here, and I'm here to talk to you about my podcast, The Roads We've Traveled. It's a podcast where every week I talk to guests and friends from music, art, comedy, and more about their journeys through life, their struggles, their joys, and everything in between. You also get to know a little bit more about me and my journey as well. So if you like podcasts about good conversations about life, or maybe you're just looking to relate to somebody about some things you may be going through as well, then The Roads We've Traveled is the podcast for you. Subscribe to us today on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you guys get your podcasts from. Check us out and subscribe to us on YouTube. And check us out at facebook.com/Roads We've Traveled Podcast. All right, everyone. Thanks.
What's up, guys? So let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's show. And like I said, we are talking about wrestling theme songs that were actually performed by legitimate bands. So this is kind of my opinion. These are not what I would say, like, I'm not putting these in order. I'm just kind of listing them off. So don't kill me if you feel like, oh, well, you should have had this or you should have had that. These are just songs that I feel like stick out and kind of hold a special place. But also at the same time, some of these are some rarities. Some of them were used for particular events and stuff like that. So we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about them. Also, if you have any wrestling theme songs that you think I should check out that were actually performed by bands, let me know, man. Send it to me on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Presents a Podcast, if I can talk, and Podcast of Blue on Twitter. So let's get started. And I'm going to start with CM Punk, and it's actually Kill Switch Engage, This Fire Burns. Now, this song actually was originally meant for Randy Orton and was actually used on TV in 2006 on a SmackDown. But unfortunately, I guess the higher-ups felt like this was too dark for Randy Orton's character, which I kind of agree. But it went to CM Punk, and for the longest time, it was like the most perfect music for CM Punk. Obviously, later on, he would change his song to Cult of Personality, which is also another great song, but I felt like this song right here really stuck about his personality, and it's a really, really good song, really great lyrics, and you can actually listen to it on a Kill Switch Engage record as well, too. So number 9 is kind of something that was used for a little while, but didn't really hit, and I don't understand why, because it was perfect. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme song, Disturbed, Glass Shatters, which I don't know if you've ever heard this version. I just recently watched WrestleMania 17, which I think is the first time he actually used the song, and the most perfect Stone Cold Steve Austin during that time was the most badass character. So why don't you have, like, at this time, one of the most badass bands in Disturbed performing his music, which I thought it came off heavy, it came off really cool. And I don't know why it didn't stick for him, because I think it should have really become like his theme song, because it was so awesome. Just a great song. If you haven't heard this song, go check that out. It sounds heavy. Even, it's exactly like his original music, with the Glass Shatters. And then it just, I don't know, something about the guitar tone, whatever was used to make, tone wise to make this song fit perfectly for it. I do believe David Drummond's vocals you probably could have gone with another vocalist, but it still wasn't bad. I still think it was a great song. So number 8, I'm going to go with Batista's theme song, Saliva, I Walk Alone, which Saliva's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. It's honestly that first album, probably, Click Click Boom and all those other tasty jams that they have. But I Walk Alone, man, just that guitar riff. And originally they had just like the guitar that comes in, and then I guess Saliva came and rewrote the song with them performing it. And it's such a perfect song for such a great character for a while. I don't think it really fit him when he was a heel, but I still think it was a good song. And as soon as you heard that opening riff, that it's just like, oh shit, here comes Batista, man. And like it gets you so amped, like very amped. But I don't know. Anyways, so the next one, my seventh one, is Edge, and the band is Alter Bridge, and the song is Metalingus, which, to be perfectly honest with you, not the hugest fan of Alter Bridge. I think their vocalist is actually really amazing, but to be perfectly honest with you, I can't think of a Alter Bridge song that I'm like, oh, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. And I've listened to a few. I don't know, just probably not my bag. But this song, Metalingus, as soon as it starts, which actually listening to the original version of this song, as opposed to Edge's entrance music, it doesn't start off like with the big, like, I guess you want to call it a blast beat, but it's not really a blast beat, but it's really, really cool. And I thought this was, once again, you're looking at a character like Edge, and what really set this song off was the character that Edge was playing, and it sounded heavy, it sounded aggressive, and I mean, man, to hear it this past Royal Rumble and him walk out again after being told he'd never wrestle again, probably the most amazing fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I was like so excited, so happy to see him wrestling again. So yeah, perfect song. Not in love with the band, but perfect song, perfect character, right tone. Now my next one, I actually had this one on my 5 best modern wrestling themes. And it's Cody Rhodes, and the band is Down Straight, and the song is Kingdom. Much like the Edge song, this is perfect for this character, especially because Cody Rhodes right now is probably like the biggest babyface in AEW. And I really think that he should, take into account how perfect this fits for him. And I think even, like I said on that show, I think he might run into some issues for the simple fact is this song is actually super, super positive, and it talks about the lineage of his wrestling coming from his father. And Down Straight did a great job incorporating all those things and making it perfect for Cody Rhodes and making him and his character and the legacy that his family name entails and stuff like that. And if you listen to the expanded version, there's an expanded version where there's an interesting, like very epic opening, if you will. You can hear him say, there's another, if I'm not mistaken, there's another royal family in professional wrestling, and it's the Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, which everybody knows is Goldust, and Cody Rhodes, and obviously, Dusty, one of the biggest professional wrestling stars, rival Hulk Hogan, rival Ric Flair, just one of those guys that really changed wrestling, and even as a booker as well too, Cody Rhodes. So like I said, once again, you're talking about a great song mixed with a great character, and it just makes everything about this character perfect. And that's a beautiful thing I love about wrestling, and the fact that wrestling and music together can come together to create an aura is perfect, man. It's awesome. It makes me excited. So enough about that. I could go on forever. But my number 5 is Kane, and the band is Finger 11, and the song is Slow Chemical. Me and my wife were just talking about this before I had started recording podcasts. She really, really, really actually loves this song. And besides the song Paralyzer, once again, I cannot really think of a Finger 11 song that I really, really enjoy. And this is one of those. Now, I'd heard the song for a while, and you watch it. This was like early, I want to say 2003 when they started using this for Kane, and I believe he was unmasked. And it really added something to the character. The song was like really heavy and really dark, which is weird for Finger 11. They really just that riff, hellfire and brimstone, brother. You know, like it's so badass. It's so awesome how they were able to incorporate his character, the original theme music that they were using for Kane, and came out with this really kick-ass song that I actually enjoy listening to without watching professional wrestling. Much like the Down Straight song, Kingdom, I think it's an awesome song to listen to without watching professional wrestling. It fits perfect for his character. It made you scared and excited all at the same time, because at this time, you know, like I said, I think they started using it in 2003. His character was kind of on a really dark edge. They unmasked him, and he went on this whole thing where he was like, you know, horribly disfigured, which, you know, there was absolutely nothing wrong with him. And I think at the time he sent like Jim Ross on fire, which that's a whole nother other fucking subject. But the darkness of the song fitting the character, and once again, we're tying that character music, and it's just making this awesome aura that when that wrestler walks out from that curtain, you are ready for every fucking thing they have coming. You know, it's just like, oh shit, you know, like Kane's coming, holy fuck, someone's gonna get hurt. And I really enjoy that. You know, it's just so great to me how these two have married, with the song, with the character. It's just perfect. My number 4 is Rob Van Dam, RVD, the whole fucking show. And the band is Breaking Point, and the song is One of a Kind, which in the early 2000s, when this song, anytime you heard it, right before it was like a big explosion, just so much hype for this character, so much, like just a memorable song that you know that riff as soon as it starts playing. Excuse me, guys, sorry. I'm just a little bit like, just finished eating, so I'm kind of like, a little hung up there. But this song, One of a Kind, I don't necessarily think it fit RVD, because RVD's character, especially like in ECW days, was more of a pot-smoking wrestler who's extremely athletic, who can do the splits and do crazy moonsaults and, you know, crazy things off the top rope. And man, that fucking F5, or not F5, frog splash, 5-star frog splash at that point. I don't think I've seen anybody get as high as he does. I mean, he looks like he could touch the fucking ceiling when he nails that move. But for the most part, I think, you know, for him, after a while, the song became synonymous with him, that I don't think if he entered into a WWE ring that he couldn't walk out to that song, One of a Kind. And it's really just, it makes you amped. It makes, you know he's coming to the ring, and you're about to see some crazy shit, some very technical stuff. And I mean, even at his age, I think he's like in his 40s, he's still putting on like such high quality matches with the acrobatics, sorry guys, acrobatic moves that some of these young guys are starting to incorporate, such as Will Ospreay, Ricochet, those very explosive acrobatic visionaries that are just doing something completely different with professional wrestling that a lot of people don't really consider professional wrestling, because there's a lot of flipping shit. But to me, it's fucking amazing. It's athletic. It's like watching a magician work. You want to know how the secret works, but you're almost excited to not know how it works either. All right. So since this show is pretty much inspired by the man, my number 3 is The Undertaker, and it's Limp Bizkit's Rollin'. I'm laughing because I'm thinking back to this time. And I just remember he used to come out, was this 2001? He used to come out with the motorcycle and race around the goddamn ring, okay? And I was just waiting for that one day when I was just like, he's going to hit a sidewall and we're all going to either laugh or this is going to be a horrible tragedy. But man, this character, he was doing this, I want to say it was they called it the, what's that, biker taker kind of gimmick. He came out in a trench coat and like a plaid shirt with like a bandana, and he was like some badass Hell's Angel type character that was coming out to whoop somebody's ass. And this is definitely when you start to see him incorporate some of that boxing that he was apparently into at the time. But the Limp Bizkit song Rollin', which I don't know if a lot of people don't know, this actually is them using this song. Apparently a part of the agreement in using this song, they had to incorporate Fred Durst in a couple of wrestling games. Which I thought was kind of interesting. You know, you get to come out and I guess be Fred Durst in a wrestling video game, which to me, I guess it's kind of cool, question mark. But the song was badass for him at the time. And it was just like, as soon as you heard that song, you know, and I think I'm pretty sure if you are listening to this right now, you're singing Rollin', 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 Rollin' in your fucking head right now as we speak. You're just like, oh shit, I actually really like that song. But yeah, this came from a weird time in the early 2000s and late 90s. But yeah, no, this is cool. This is a cool song, and man, thank you to the Undertaker for, you know, the 30 years of professional wrestling he's given us and the sacrifice that he's given to be one of the best wrestlers in the world. And even in his older age, you know, still being able to put on some high caliber matches and going out there with some really interesting characters. I do wish he could have done a lot more, especially with guys like Bray Wyatt, who I think right now could really use that push of beating a guy like Taker. I don't know, man. Just kind of sad today, man. You think about it, man. This guy's been doing it for 30 years, and he sure enough deserves to retire. And I don't care how you feel about whether or not he can still go or not. He put on some badass things, and especially that Boneyard match was absolutely fucking amazing. And I thought they did so many cool things, so many different things, man. Just kind of sad to see him go, but you know. Like they say, keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Sorry. All right. So my number 2, it's a love-hate relationship with this wrestler. My number 2 is Randy Orton, and the band is Rev Theory. Once again, another band that I don't know any other songs besides this song, and the song is Voices, which is currently his theme music, which I think is really... for me, I feel like this does fit Randy Orton, you know, the character that he's portrayed over the last few years, even some of his personality he's portrayed in interviews. And before this, if I'm not mistaken, there was another band. I want to say the band was from Florida, and the song was called "Burning in My Light" was his original theme music, I believe. No, I don't think it was his original, but I think it was the one that kind of like when he was in. What was that faction? Good God. Evolution. Boom. There you go. See, I'm thinking on the fly and talking on the fly. Anyways, I think this song fits him. The first song that we mentioned, Killswitch Engage, This Fire Burns, was originally the theme song that they went, but they went and they got this band, Rev Theory, who, like I said, I don't know any other hits. I don't know any other songs besides this one that they did. And I think that for Randy Orton, he's most known for this song. Whenever you hear his music, you know, the I Hear Voices, it just, everybody gets excited and whatever. But Randy Orton's not one of my favorite wrestlers, but I can appreciate his agility, his ability to still be around. He's a 14-time world champion, you know, whatever. I know some people are like, oh, well, you know, don't you know wrestling's fake? Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I love professional wrestling and I love what they do on a character development, but I don't feel like he's developed himself in the last 12, 13 years. He's kind of just been the same. Well, no, I can't say that. Now I'll take that back, okay? Because he did the Legend Killer gimmick, which I was really, really into, and then he did the whole I'm crazy gimmick. Which kind of started with the, I hear voices in my head. But he's kind of just gone stale from there. You know, he just kind of comes out broodingly and just, you know, like, I get paid a lot of money to do what I'm about to do. And I'm not going to put any passion into it. That's just me. Anyways, nonetheless, we're going to end this list on a song that I think as soon as everyone fucking hears it, you are probably more excited than you fucking realize. And I still, to this day, absolutely love this fucking theme song. Whether he's a good guy, whether he's a bad guy, whether he works for the corporation, whether he's dating the boss's daughter, does not matter to me. But my last song is Triple H, The Game, Motorhead. I mean, what other band can you think of that can make such an epic fucking intro for a character who went through a lot of different variations and transformations, but then once he found his character, the cerebral assassin, The Game, this song once again is the perfect marriage of a great fucking metal band writing a great fucking song that you can see yourself listening to without having to watch a wrestling program. And as soon as you hear that it's time to play the game, you're amped, you're excited. If you're a metal fan, you love Lemmy, and it's such a heavy song for them, and I think it's fucking absolutely amazing. And I hope he continues to use this even when he's in his 50s now. When he gets up to 60s and 70s, he's still walking out to, it's time to play that game, and it's so badass. Though I will say he needs to stop with the motorcycle entrances because they are fucking daunting to watch. It's just fucking annoying. But this song, when I hear it, I still inside me, and whether he's a good guy, whether he's a bad guy, I still get kind of excited hearing Lemmy say it's time to play the game, and just hearing that come out incorporates so many different things. It incorporates his character, it incorporates his look, everything down from the walking out with the water bottle, spitting in the air, and then finally getting on the ring apron, standing up and doing the fucking pose where he shoots the fucking spit. I don't care who you are, when you saw that, you started fucking doing that. You started getting the water bottle and you were spitting it in the air. Hell, I used to do it at shows all the goddamn time. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who I've spit on at shows because I was trying to imitate Triple H, which is hilarious. But nonetheless, man, this is such a great theme song for this character, for what he does, and how he comes down to the ring. Because when he comes down to that ring, you're about to see a serious fucking match. There's about to be some brutal moves. A sledgehammer will be involved somewhere. Some fugazi fucking finish where, somebody's, cheating for him to win or whatever the case is. And also on top of that, shout out to Triple H making NXT what it is today too. And that's a whole nother other dynamic about it, is he's not only just a character where he cerebrally is very intelligent, what he does with his character, what he does in the ring. He's also a very intelligent businessman, and that's kind of a cool aspect of it. So even though now he's in a lesser role where he's more of an authority in real life in wrestling, the song still fits him because, he's going to play the game, man. He's going to be better than more people inside the ring. And whether or not you think he's too in your face because he's related to the McMahons now by marriage, I still think that this song is so perfect for who he is, what he's done, and what he continues to do, man. For real, man. And with that being said, I'm going to end this list. And once again, man, if you've got songs that I missed, or you think that there's a song I should have talked about, man, hit me up in those comments, man. Facebook, Instagram, Blue Presents a Podcast, and on Twitter at Podcast of Blue, man. And once again, if you'd like to be a guest on my show, or you'd like to suggest a show idea, hit me up on those social medias, man, and we'll talk at it, man. That being said, man, that's the end of the show, man. And thank you guys for listening. I appreciate everybody who's been on the show in the last month and a half, man. We've had some really, really great interviews, and I'm extremely thankful for the opportunity to talk with some of you for the first time. Some of you I've known you for a few years, and we finally got to sit down and have a great conversation, which was super awesome. So thank you guys. Have a great day, and be nice to everyone.